morning, good evening, and good day wherever you are. Thank you very much for joining a live stream here where we're going to be looking at Scalar 2.9 and all the new features included. It's a really nice little update. I think it completes the Scalar 2 journey nicely. And there's a couple of features which I've been really keen on wanting to get involved or get put into Scalar 2.9. So I'm really excited to share them with you now. As always, stay active in the chat. Joshua Casper's going to be looking after your questions and forwarding them through to me, and I'll try my best to answer. Please do ask any questions that you've got. We're going to be giving away some copies of a Scalar 2 and the Scalar 2 official course bundle. So stay active in the chat, and yeah, I hope you enjoy. So for all intents and purposes, it just looks like Scalar 2. What we're going to do is we're going to recreate the track that we were listening to on the intro there. Yeah, we're going to start looking at how some of the new features can really help. There's a bunch of new features. There's passages, there's live suggest mode, there's left-handed the chord display, there's some new bass expressions, there's lots of new chord sets, and there's a fantastic extended arpeggio feature. So let's get underway. I'm going to let's start with some really simple stuff, and I just want to start with probably the most obvious thing I could do: go to C major scale, write some very obvious chords, and then look at how we can use some of the new features to really embellish those chords. Okay, so C major, here's Scalar as we know it. Pretty straightforward. Could just use these chords here or any combination of. Just to make it more interesting, I just want to choose a different voicing. So I'm going to move over to voicing 1. Start off with the C major, sounds good. Go up to A minor, D minor, F major, might go back to the A minor and kind of fall down if you like. Yeah, come to the F major and then finish on that D minor. Now, we know that if we right-click on the play button, it just goes into DAW sync mode, and it'll play according to the chord duration, which is 8 beats, which is exactly what I want. So let's have a look. I'm just going to put the cycle locators around 16 bars. I'm going to open up that scalar, hit play. It sounds like it's doing what it should be doing. I'm just going to add a little bit of some plate verb. Great. We should just come back around. Excellent. Okay, good. Pretty straightforward. Sounds pretty obvious now, but we're going to try and make that all a little bit more interesting. I'm just going to duplicate that channel, and it's going to open up exactly the same thing. Another scalar, same chords, in DAW sync mode. And I might go for a bass. Now, I'm going to be just pretty straight here. We do have these fantastic new triplet bass expressions. Are really, really good if you want that triplet feel. The waltzes, the shuffles, the 6/8s, they're really, really nice. Not going to work here because we're just going to work on a straight 4/4. So I'm going to go common bass, straight, something really simple. And I'm going to choose a bass sound and going to go bass guitar. I'm going to hit play. Should hear it. There it is. Just turn it down just a bit. Yeah, I think we get the idea. Okay, I'm actually just going to now look at some so we're only using internal sound so far, which is really, really great. Might just have a look at the new ARP. I might add a little arpeggio if you like. So duplicating that, we're going to a bass patch, which I don't want, so I'm going to turn that off. I've just duplicated the bass channel. I'm going to go and choose substantial, and it'll be playing those chords as we expect. Sounds nice, but I actually want to get some of the new arpeggios. Now, we had these kind of up downs pretty straight, but we've got these really, really lovely new doubled up, doubled down, converge, pinky up, pinky down, thumbs up, thumbs down. I'm just going to go straight. Well, we can have a listen to some. I might go converge. Yeah, eights. Obviously, we can do our dotteds, which are always nice. I'm going to go straight 16th. Yeah, they're all really lovely. I quite like this this kind of Spanish tremolo feel, if you like. Yeah, cool. Do two things. I'm going to add a long delay, just to give it a bit of movement, and I'm actually just going to take all the top end out, if you like, nice and simple. Okay, cool. So, yeah, so we've got the new arpeggio patterns. That's really great. We've got the chords, we've got the bass, just to make sure everything's sounding right. And now to start really giving it some melodic ideas. Obviously, I could go to a melody within Scalar. But what I really love about working with Scalar is that it just helps me lock on to a particular scale or a feel. It could be really any type of scale or feel that you've got, and then I know I can safely go to a third-party instrument. So you've probably seen me I like to use everything, because in the composition here we've got a lot of stuff, so it's really nice. But I'm going to go to Vocalize. Great pack from Heaviosity, great instrument from Heaviosity, I should say. And I know I'm in C major, right? That's what I've been writing in, so I'm going to go melodic phrases, C major. And now I've got these phrases down here, and any of them should work. So just to kind of fit it into the tune a little bit more, I might get, should we get a bit of hall reverb, and I might add the Eventide black hole reverb, which is really nice, very long reverb. And yeah, let's go back to that, since we're coloring a few things with some delays. Let's go back to that delay. I might get a scalar EQ on the master, actually. That might help in a second. But okay, so I'll just open up that Vocalize once again. And now I'm just going to play all of these are just melodic phrases in. So I'm just going to hit play on the door. Okay, that was good. I quite like that. Wish I had recorded that. Shift R. Yeah, Shift R in Logic actually just captures what you last played. Okay. I did notice that I got a bit excited in that final note. It was very loud, so I'm just going to turn it down. I'll quantize them all. Looks like I've played these three slightly early. I have... probably sounds all right anyway. So, okay, let's have a listen. Okay, that's great. I'm just going to save where I'm at, just in case I have any issues. You notice that I've put scalar EQ in the master. I'd love to put scalar EQ in the master. I just turn the limiter on. I kind of open up the stereo width. I could mono some of the frequencies. I've chosen C major, A minor. I might just kind of get some of that low mid out. I'll just narrow the width, which is probably kind of an overlooked feature. You know, it's one of the main things that I wanted is to be able to just get a couple of frequencies that are out of key and pull them out. Not a lot. I think a lot of people like to use it very wide, but you know, there you go. So just boosting tops and bottoms. So now we've got this, very straightforward scalar. We've got the scalar, you know, chords. They're going to become passages in a minute, which I want to look at. We've got, what was this? The bass, scalar bass, and then we've got a scalar 2 up. So we've got this really nice C major start, nice tune, straightforward chords. Okay, I'm just going to grab some questions before we look at passages. So Venture NW, scalar content was in the chain in front of an instrument in your video earlier today. What is that? Oh, I think you're talking about scalar control. Yes, earlier today. Yeah, it's a MIDI controller. So it's a MIDI effect, effectively, Venture NW, which is native to Logic, and now actually Pro Tools as well. And just so you know, we are working on getting Pro Tools MIDI effect scalar for Pro Tools MIDI effect coming too. So it's just a way of controlling an instrument. You can route it in any other DAW. And Shinray says, can scalar detect keys through audio? The audio detection in scalar EQ is very much focused on detecting a key and scale of a tune, whereas the scalar 2 audio detection is focused on detecting chords. So by virtue of the fact that you're detecting chords, you are detecting a key and scale of a tune. I'm just going to say, by the way, that Koala DSP, who is behind our development of scalar and everything that's coming in the future, and they're a wonderful team, really, really nice people. But big thanks to Remy, Bas, Joachim, and Cecil, and all the others. There's so many people, Tom, Vasco, that have been working on scalar. But they implemented, I've always struggled with the audio detection in scalar too, and they've implemented an overhaul based on kind of what they've done with scalar EQ. And the audio detection is unbelievably good. It's so much better. We're really getting some great feedback. So little secret update there. Okay, passages. So I've got these kind of, you know, straight chords. What I want to do is I just want to make it a little bit more interesting. And something we came up with in scalar was passages. So these are the chords as you're hearing them. If I now come into performances, we have a new articulation. There it is, passages. And what happens is, you know, I'm not a great pianist, so I struggle. Well, I'm not a great keys player, but I struggle if I'm playing chords and I want to go to another chord and I want to do a little twinkle, a little movement at the end of a chord. We've got phrases, we've got performances. They're really nice because they melodically influence a tune, but you get really strong motifs. I wanted something that doesn't melodically influence a tune, that kind of still gives me control, allows me to play these chords, but just breaks them up like a pianist would. So we had the pianist around here write these passages. I'll just quickly maybe solo firstly what's going on here so you can see. Yeah, so if I turn passage 1 on, there you go. Yeah, it's breaking up that chord. Now the first thing I notice is, you know, my tune is at 120, but that's still fast because I'm really writing at 60, you could argue. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to slow it right down. Now the passages do respond to the chord duration, but in this instance, I like to keep the chord duration the way it is because I'm using DAW Sync to keep things simple, and I'm going to go half. There's the movement. Nice. You can, if I bind the area, you'll be able to see the key switches. There's 7 passages. So obviously you can just change them here and look for different passages. Kind of, you know, the higher the number, the more movement, the way I see it. You know, we're going up to passage 6 and passage 7. We're getting quite a lot of movement. But the really nice thing about Passages, they're always going to work. They're just using the chords, the keys of your chords, the notes of your chords. They're always going to work. Okay, let's have a quick listen to that Passages in the context of the tune. I'll turn up the piano just so you can hear a bit more. So what we can do is we can swap the passages. We're on that piano, right? So we can swap it live, or I can key switch it via my keyboard, or I can change them here. But I really like key switching. I even just like playing on the keyboard here, so we can key switch between. So let's say I go from passage 1, move to passage 3, back to passage 1. Let's go up to passage 4 for the A minor here. Passage 5. Passage 7 to end. So you get this really beautiful movement without doing anything. You're kind of almost really coming up with your own melody just by clicking through the passages. It's in DAW sync. There's so many ways to work with scalar. We can work with writing trigger keys, trigger notes. We can work in live sync mode. We can drag and drop. But sometimes doing this right click and DAW syncing here is just so easy because it enables us to use some of the functions and features. I want to swap those passages. I'm going to go into edit mode. And I'm going to hit my playback performances. And I'm going to say, okay, cool. For the first chord, let's set up a group 1. Let's go into passages. I want it to play passage 1, great. For the second chord, let's go group 2. Let's go passages again. This time, switch to passage 3. So this one's going to play passage 1. This one's going to play passage 2. And I might repeat that pattern. Group 1, group 2, group 1, group 2, group 1, group 2. And I think what's going to happen is every chord is going to alternate between passage 1 and 3. You won't see that updated here, but here we go. You'll hear it. Passage 3. Works nice. There you go. Just to be clear there, if you solo, you'll be able to hear it. It's playing passage 1, just one twinkle. There's a bit more of a twinkle, back to 1. Okay, great. So you can hear that's just working nice. So just play that through and I'll look at some questions. We get some questions. Yeah, so you can just see that movement straight away. I mean, could you choose more boring chords? I don't think you could. C major, boring chords, but it's just a, I mean, obviously vocalizer's helping us there, but without all that harmonic content before, it would mean nothing. So I just love the way with scalar, you can just go anywhere and do anything, even being really simple. And of course, we can get really, I might show an example later of, really crazy type chords. There's a video I did earlier, a Scalar 2.9 video, which you can see on YouTube, where I go to some pretty Hitchcockian chords, I think I say. Matthew Chunk 3, when is Scalar EQ coming to iOS? It is coming to, it's kind of actually on the App Store now, but we just noticed something, so we've pulled it off, and we are throwing it back up there. So we're really excited about that. Again, Koala did a really good job at avoiding some fiddliness and getting a nice zoom and being able to use it. Sounds lovely, being able to use the mic input as well is fantastic. Scalar 2.9 iOS is also in the works. We're thinking probably a week or two, but it's all there. Scalar EQ and Scalar 2.9 on iOS within the next week, I would say, week or two tops. Noxel, can you change chords to extensions like sevenths or ninths? Yeah, you absolutely can. Here, there's many ways you can do things. Actually, I'll tell you what, that might lead me on to showing how I can mix passages and then showing you extensions. So I'm going to duplicate those first chords onto another channel, and I'm going to solo it here. There it is. You can, Noxel, I used voicing 1, but I could have actually come here and used sevenths, ninths, 11ths, 13ths. There's so many different ways you can use extensions. You can go into chord mode. I mean, yeah, check out, I never want to sound like I'm trying to sell it, but check out the Scalar 2 official online course. So I think it's, it's not much. It bundles up with Scalar nicely. We're giving away some copies, so stay active in the chat. But it just covers absolutely every single detail of Scalar, which reminds me, we will get on to adding Scalar 2.9 in that course, the updates in there. Okay, so I've duplicated this. Keep the questions coming. I've duplicated this now. We've got basically those chords playing those passages again. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix passages, if you like. So I'm going to put on Celestial Existence here. Pretty loud. By the way, I could use Scalar EQ, obviously, but in Logic, you just press that box and it pops this one up. So for a low cut, don't need to do anything fancy. This EQ is great. What I might do, just so you can hear, firstly, I'll turn off the EQ. I'll put it back on a second. But it's just following those passages, right? But what I might do is, first I'm going to come into edit mode and I'm going to disable the switching, so I can then change the passages here. And the nice thing is you can mix and match passages for kind of nice melodic and harmonic content. Yeah, okay, so let's get that in context with the piano. So I've put the EQ back on. Maybe I'll just have a little bit more top so you can actually hear what's going on. And I'm going to also solo the piano. So the piano is doing the swapping of the passages, passage 1 and 3. And here we've got Scalar EQ, Scalar 2 on Celestial Existence. So these are all internal sounds other than that vocal, which is fabulous. And now I can just randomly swap passages and you kind of get that nice mix. Yeah, start throwing in the up, or well, let's just throw in everything, and you can just, it's really cool how you can just come up with this really nice kind of new melodic content. There we go. Yeah, it's really cool. We start to bring up the ARP, change the ARP patterns. Okay, so that's passages really. I think you hear the silly phrase, the possibilities are endless. But I just love, with me personally, what I love about Scalar is every time I approach it differently, depending on my mood and feel, and obviously what I want to write. I can sometimes just go straight to the chord page and start clicking around here, finding chords. I can go to pad view and start writing lots of different progressions. I can go to modulation to find, other chords. I can come into edit mode. I can use DAW playback, sync. But here, Passages has given us a whole new avenue to create by just finding chords and adding passages. Okay, great. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to look at a couple of other features as we kind of, start to head towards the end of the show, if you like. What I might do, hopefully I didn't change anything there. Yeah. I'm going to go into live sync mode, if you like. Yeah, I might go sync. So this is my main scaler, my first chords, and I'm going to say, yeah, can you sync all the other chords, all the other scalars? Yeah, great. So they should all be in sync mode, and we can see that because we can confirm that because this main one is the leader, and if I open up any other scalar, you can see that they're all following. Great, and that obviously means that I can make changes to these chords here and everything will follow. As to make this pretty simple, I might just have the chords in just this vocal. Yeah, maybe just the arp. Okay, so it's still playing the passages. That's great. It's now the leader. Any change I make down here will affect all the other scalars. So let's go into live suggest mode. And just before we do, Shinrei says, does scalar have an option to change color? I do have problems staring at dark color. Yeah, you can. You can go into preferences here and you can change the... Here we go, and change the theme. We did have a very good light mode in Scalar 1, which we never kind of reintroduced in Scalar 2. There are big changes coming. There'll be some, nice official announcements and looks at what the future holds very soon. We're very, very excited for it. And of course, one of the things is that we've involved Resonant Design, who we think are just wonderful. And they've really looked at things from the top down. So how it's going to look entirely different. We're really, really excited about that. It's looking amazing, and we're looking, it should help you with dark colors and how Scalar 2 looks, which has been polarizing to say the least. Standalone version, Morton Cullen. Well, Morton, that's a good lead on to the conversation to what I was just saying. It's coming. It's definitely on its way. Knoxall, there's a lot of questions. Can you make a demonstration with extended chords playing so we can see the 7th and 9th playing in Passages performances? Sure, why not, Knoxall? And Atta lives, how many scalars can you sync? I've sunk 10 or 15. I've never had a problem. So what are the new guitar features? Okay, it's a lot of questions, isn't it? Wow. Where do I start there? Should I do the 7th and 9th? Okay, I'm gonna. Okay, why don't we do? Yeah, okay. 7th and 9th on Passages. Okay, I want to get to those. Sorry. I want to get to those because I'd have to move the chords around. I just want to show live suggest mode. I'm going to get back to those questions. Okay, really sorry. Suggest mode. We've always had suggest mode. Okay, I'm in the leader, so any changes I make here will change all the other scalars. Now, I could just be clicking on the chords here. We know that. I've got this bound, so I can just play them here. Yeah. Now, previously with suggest mode, you kind of had to click these little flags and suggest from a specific chord. What I want to do is I want to show you a new feature, which is quite simply this little live button here. That's really improved the whole suggest mode for me. That's made it really, really cool. There's some great implementation here. The first thing you'll notice is there's a second bind or bound area up the top, and that represents the first 8 chords in the suggested chords. Now, obviously, we've got 20, 30, so we didn't want to bind the whole area because it would take up your whole keyboard. But what's really nice about this is I can You can see me now playing in the suggested chords up here. I can kind of play my first chord and say, oh, where do you want me to go? Where are you suggesting? So I'm kind of looking. I want to stay in the scale, don't I? Really, because these are really nice tonal when you're creating a new tune and you're not really caring about scales, because it takes you off in directions you wouldn't ordinarily think, which is fantastic. And, everyone's going on about AI, but these are based on actual human chord written progression. So there is an AI in the background that's deciding a few things based on some algorithmic decisions that we've had to make. But it's referencing all the chords written within Scalar, which is what makes this suggest mode entirely unique to Scalar 2. But I want to stick to C major. I'm going to go per scale. Now I might try minimize movement. And now, yeah, that's kind of saying, okay, yep, cool. These are the chords you could go to. So, I'm going to go to that C sharp, C sus2, so the suspended chord. Yeah, I'm going to see, now it's kind of, I could test out where it's, oh, that sounds nice, I could go from here to there. So it's kind of really nice. You can suggest from anywhere, and it's just a fantastic way to just get these chords thrown at you just whilst you're playing. That sounded good into that G flat. So I can play through my chord progression. It is updating. Okay, that sounds good. I might go to an F5 over C. Yeah, that sounds nice. Might go to a C major, no fifth. Yep. There's a D minor, no fifth. Yeah, so we no longer have to click these flags. I guess what I'm saying is I can just play through my chord progression, see what it's suggesting, click, yep, sounds good, an F5 instead of the F major, and then, yeah, let's do this crazy G major without a fifth over B. So that should actually have now synced the other scalars. So if I hit play, yeah, it's playing this through this new chord progression. It's great. Yeah, so it's a really nice way. It's a really nice way to come up with an alternative or start a new tune. See how we go with time. I might show you how I use live suggest mode to start a completely new tune. So just to surmise there, we've done passages. We've come with C major. We've written these really nice movements by using passages. I've then come in and effectively this could be a new section, couldn't it? And said, okay, now I want this new section. It sounded quite nice as just a breakdown with that up, and then I could have swung back to the other chords or kept going. Okay, let me get to Noxel's suggestion. So how would I do this, Noxel? I'm going to put these chords down here, and I'm gonna yeah, okay. No, this isn't going to work. Okay. I'm going to stop live sync, shall I? Just so we don't get everything else messed up. Okay, good. So now I'm assuming that nothing else is syncing, so I can just check the other scalars. Nothing else is syncing. Perfect. It's always nice after an update to see everything working so well, which is really great. And I came down here at Knoxville, didn't I? Scalar 2. Okay. And let's get rid of these chords and remove them. And let's go to sevenths and, well, you can hear the passages here. Yep, good. So, you know, we had, what did we have? We kind of had this C to A to D to F. Obviously, this is going to sound a little bit, well, I'm just following those same chords. But there you go, here's your sevenths. Yeah, F major, then we went to A minor, and then we went back down, didn't we? Might sound funny with that G7. Okay, so here's your sevenths with the passages. There you go, I've moved to passage 3, passage 4. Should we chuck in the vocal? I like writing music on the fly. I don't know where Knoxville's sending me, but let's find out, shall we? Where's my vocalizer? Okay. I like it, Knoxville. You want to see ninths too? Let me give you ninths, shall I? Let me try and not do anything too silly. D minor 9, F major 9, C major 9, A minor 9. Okay, here we go. Yeah, the ninths are going to sound a little bit funny. Okay, here we go. Nice. Don't forget you got voice grouping and you got humanize as well, so you can come into doing both. Here we go. Should we do our bass as well? Let's try that. Oh, still the old chords. They're still the old chords, aren't they? Sorry, they're the old chords. Okay. Okay, great. Yes, I think that worked nicely. We're going to get to some of the other questions. So I did that for you, Knoxville. How many scales can you sing? What are the new guitar features? Okay, new guitar features. The new guitar features. There's some more questions coming through, which is always hard to keep up with. Okay, what are the new guitar features? Let me just show them to you whilst I've got this sevenths and ninths here. Can I kind of make this a little bit... Well, in Guitar View, the new guitar features are... if we click on the settings in guitar, we now have a left-handed guitar display. It basically shows a left-handed guitar fretboard. So obviously lots of left-handed players play on a right-handed guitar, but we've got some left-handed guitar players who play on a left-handed guitar, and we're probably estimating that's maybe 5 to 10%, 5% of sales of guitars, but they've been very vocal in asking us to have this left-handed kind of moving from the right. So it's kind of almost an inversion, if you like, which is really cool. So we've got the left-handed guitar display, which shows you how a left-handed guitar looks in terms of its fretboard. And what I really like, these chord charts might actually... Oh, there you go. Look with the ninth. Fantastic. The chord charts are also showing the left-handed guitar display as well. So it's really fantastic for left-handed guitarists. I hope that you're out there enjoying it. And thanks again to Remy and everyone else that managed to implement that. Really nice. Now, don't forget the winners of the prize, and we're wrapping up very shortly, but we're giving away Scalar 2.9, and we're giving away the Scalar 2 official course. So the winners should email support@pluginboutique.com with their name, what they've won, and a screenshot of them logged into their account here on YouTube. The Vapors and Super El Mundo. So that's what you should both do. Congratulations. And yeah, so just quickly, maybe for the last 5 minutes, let's clear the state here, start working on a fresh scalar. I might just quickly show you some of the chords, some of the new chord sets. Haven't even really thought this far ahead in terms of what would be some of the Celtic chord sets written are really, really lovely. I have to get the right instrument, really. I should be probably going to a devoted guitar patch. But in World, we've got these really nice kind of Celtic chord sets. Here we go. Oopsie, performances are on, aren't they? Yeah, they're really nice. There's also a bunch of country chord sets as well. Yeah, really nice. Obviously, you can assign that to guitar. And don't forget, you got your performances, you got strumming as well, which you can do. Back to a felt to demonstrate some of the other stuff that we've got in there. There's loads of chord sets. There's these great alternative chord sets. I demonstrated in a video making these Hitchcockian chords. Check it out, Scalar 2.9 update video. And there's also some really cool progressive rock chord sets, which are cool too. Obviously, shouldn't be in performances or a piano. We've also got some new bass performances. I mentioned the triplet fill, and slap bass is back. The slap bass sound in 2.9. I just want to really thank everyone. I'll just come on and begin to wrap up, if that's okay. But yeah, I just wanted to personally thank every single person that's been involved. It's a huge breadth of artists, musicians, coders, developers. There's everyone on the Scalar team. There's lots of us out there. Everyone that's worked really hard, particularly Tristan, Steve, James on Scalar 2.9. Everyone who has worked on developing Scalar in the past. There's been so many great people who've moved on. Everyone at Koala, I've mentioned them all before, but there's so many to mention. There's Tom and Vasco and Remy and Cecil and Joachim and Bas. Everyone at Plugin Boutique who's really helped us along the way. Matt, Gareth, Alistair, Joshua, Simon. I mean, I could go on for everyone. But yeah, it's just a personal thank you to everyone who's been on the Scalar 2 journey. Where we're going at the end of this year, I think, is really, really special. And I think we've got a real opportunity to contribute to the music making society or community of the world. And we think we've got a really valuable contribution to make. It's been in the works for a long time. We'll make an announcement soon, but we're really excited to share what's coming up towards the end of this year. So that's Scalar 2.9. Thank you very, very much for joining me. I hope you enjoy it. Don't forget to download it at Plugin Boutique. Passages, live suggest mode, left-handed guitar display, lots of chord sets. I hope you enjoyed the live stream. Thank you very, very much. You'll hear more from me shortly. And wherever you are, enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.